Hi everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and we are back. I've been out for the last week or so. Had a ear upgrade going on, so I still can't really hear out of this ear. So if I'm shouting during this video, apologies for that. Hopefully that will clear itself out soon enough. So I did want to get on and talk a little bit about burning bridges today. And we always go to the old human cliches because there is a cosmic wisdom in them. You know, we don't just get them from nowhere. We don't just say them for nothing. They come from a very deep place, but our human distorts what they mean, you know, and they kind of turn it upside down as what does that really mean? Don't burn bridges. Why don't you burn bridges? And the funny thing about humans, when we're in our human aspect, is we don't mind burning bridges, but we don't burn them for the reason we think we're going to burn them for. You know, as humans, we will burn bridges, which pretty much means scorched earth, right? We pretty much seal off a path by blowing the bridge up so we can never go back down it again. So if it's, you know, a job, you might leave and not give notice, you know, relationships, you just walk out, you don't really try to close anything up. As humans, we're not good at buttoning anything up. You know, we're not good at closing out a reality energetically. We always sort of want to run away from it because as our human aspect, our strong suit is not talking. You know, our strong suit's not communication. I think I've said that in just about every video I've done. That is not our human aspect. Our human aspect does not want to really sit there and have a discussion. It doesn't want to have to deal with things. And maybe that's the easiest way to say it. Our human aspect doesn't want to deal, so it tries to get away from it. But it doesn't do it for the reason it thinks it does. It kind of feels like it does it because I'm angry and I'm mad. I'll never go back there again. It doesn't matter. But if we really look at why do we burn a bridge, it's more or less we burn the bridge because we are afraid we will go back down it. We don't trust ourselves not to do it. So by burning it and napalming it, now we don't give ourselves a choice again. So really look at the bridges that you would have classified as burning them. You know, because as higher aspects, we don't burn bridges. But we don't do it for the same reason, which we'll get a little bit into that in a second. But as humans, we burn them we burn them, but we really don't burn them. We burn them because we don't trust ourselves to not go back. So we want to make it really pretty trifling. You know, we really want to really make our exit pretty rough. So we kind of have all these stories in the way of why we can't go back. So because we didn't trust ourselves not to go back without all that stuff we've now put in the way. You know, we now, not only do we kind of try to napalm the bridge, we then try to barricade on top of that all of our stories as to why we can't go back that way. You know, because we don't trust ourselves to not go back that way. So if we make it a really rough ride, we just kind of keep saying, oh, we can't really go back that way because of all these things. Not just the fact of what I just did, but all these other stories I'm going to tell myself as to why I can't go back down that road. When in actuality, it's because we don't trust ourselves. You know, we don't trust ourselves to not do that. You know, that is not, humans are never going to walk away from anything voluntarily. You know, we're always going to not want to do that. You know, we're always going to want to keep a back door open because we really don't ever walk away from stuff. We kind of run away from stuff, but because we don't energetically close anything out, we never really end anything. So we continue to go back through it. You're just going to kind of napalm that bridge and say all these reasons why I can't go back and do that. Okay, well now your universe is going to change it. It's going to make the bridge look a little different, make plants and flowers on the bridge. You know, might put a pretty stream under the next bridge, but it's still the same bridge. It's just been reconstructed with maybe different people, maybe not. Normally, if we have enough story around what we did to our old bridge, we'll kind of convince ourselves we have to do this with new people, right? So we just bring in new people. But we keep kind of going over the same bridge. We don't look at it as the same bridge, but it is. Because we haven't shown that we could handle it. We haven't shown that we could say a complete no more to that. You know, we haven't shown that. We haven't proved that to ourselves. And if we haven't proved that to ourselves, we haven't proved that to our higher selves, then our higher selves, our universe is going to make us keep going through it because we haven't energetically completed it. If we energetically completed it, we wouldn't have had to burn the bridge. We could peacefully talk to the people on the bridge and then walk off the bridge, knowing from our highest aspects and becoming that higher aspect, that we will have no desire to ever turn around and go back over that bridge again. We don't have to blow it up. We don't have to have a fail-safe of blowing the bridge up, because we know we're not going to go there anymore. We're 100% sure that bridge holds nothing for me anymore. I'm not going to go back to that. You know, I don't have to burn it to the ground. It can stay there. Someone else can one day walk over that bridge, but I'm not going to, so I don't have to do all that. Now, there is a little caveat to that I want to kind of touch on, is that sometimes we will not be able to close down a reality because we're not strong enough yet. We're not strong enough anchoring in our higher aspects to be able to do it from our highest place. So in that sense, we might not even burn it. We just kind of run off of it, pretend like it's not there and keep going. But we kind of just put a pin in it. It's sort of the same thing, because we didn't exactly end it. We didn't energetically end it. And when you energetically end it, that means you've resolved everything inside of you. There's nothing left. There's no emotion left. There's nothing to kind of pull us back. You know, we feel at complete peace with it. You know, that means it's energetically finished. We're not getting anything else out of it. We're not tempted to walk back to the bridge because it's still something we want from it. That's why we, as our human aspect, we will burn it, because we don't trust ourselves to not go back. So let me really make it, you know, I want to shut this off for me. And sometimes we'll even do it with stuff that we feel like could be a reality we would like to get into, but we have a lot of fear around it. So we'll kind of do sort of the reverse. We might try to leave one we didn't enjoy because we're not really, don't know really how to end it. So we try to burn it. And then as our human aspect, we'll also do a flip of that, where there could be a reality we would like to take part in, but we have too much fear and story around why we can't. So we just want to muck that one up too, kick a lot of dirt on it and do what we have to, saw it off at the bottom, because we don't want to cross that bridge. You know, we have too much fear about crossing that bridge. So we don't even get to that one. We just will cut that one off before we get there. So you're going to go over numerous bridges. And we have to look at each one. What do we decide to do? What do you decide to do now than what you would have done before? Sometimes we can resolve it all. And we can talk to the people in the reality and walk off the bridge and complete peace at leaving it, knowing we're not going to go back. But someone still in that reality might feel like we burned the bridge. And those are really things we have to really look at, because when we really get to embracing and living from our higher aspects, we take everyone into account that would be standing on that bridge with us. You know, we don't just look at ourselves. We have to take everyone into account. Some people don't like when we walk away. Some people don't like when you walk off the bridge because they didn't want us to do that. That doesn't mean we didn't do the right thing for us and for the entire reality, for everyone in the reality. Because we can see, once you start embodying in your higher aspects, you can see how that reality has to shape for everyone. And sometimes us staying in a reality hampers other people's growth. We kind of act as a band-aid for other things that have to be done. We fulfill roles that other people should be fulfilling in that reality. We will fill a gap, gaps in the construction of a lot of how bridges are constructed. There's gaps in there, and we'll fill those gaps. And if we're not there, that bridge is going to collapse. But because we don't want other people to go through the bridge collapse, we kind of stay on the bridge. We try to hold it down. We try to hold down the fort in a sense. And sometimes after a while, most of the time, pretty much all the time after a while, you might have felt it was your place for a while. But there comes a time when that's not going to be your place anymore. Because then we start hampering other people's growth. We start hampering what other people should be doing on their own. We just start getting in people's way, and people start depending on us to always be there, to keep that afloat, to keep that bridge up. And if we walk away, they don't like what's going to happen because they haven't really looked at how it was constructed in the first place. But that's part of their kind of, I don't even know how I even put it. I had a word in mind and I kind of lost it. As we go through the eclipses, and we started getting into eclipse season, I always try to wear black when I do any video anywhere near eclipse season, because you are going to be looking at a lot of your bridges. You're going to be looking at what's the best thing for me to do here. I'm going to walk off this one knowing there's going to be a more beautiful bridge here. I don't have to bomb it. I have no desire to go back. Look at in the past why you really did burn them down. Was it you didn't trust yourself to not go back? But the fallacy of that is because we didn't trust ourselves to not go back, our universe is always going to throw up something else similar to that to prove to us that you have to learn to be able to close this stuff out. You have to be able to recognize this stuff. You have to be able to say no to this stuff, whatever it was that was enticing us before. We have to be able to say no to those things and move on to the next thing. So, okay, I don't think there's anything else I want to throw in here. So that should be good. I'll get some more stuff up soon. All right, keep practicing the art of it.